What I realized from studying some of the largest multinationals is as they get bigger, as they cover more markets, they get complicated. And the complexity is the thing that they have to handle. Complexity is growing, and it's growing mainly because there's an acceleration of the range of new technologies coming into the world, as new markets come into the world, as new expertise comes into the world. What we call the components of complexity, those things get more and more greater and greater and bigger. So the opportunities, but also the threats for competitive companies have accelerated. Individual managers have to cope with a wider variety of positive, things that they can do well, opportunities to grab hold of, new markets, new technologies, but also negative, the threats, the competitive threats, and in some ways, it's their responsibility to clarify, precisely what they've got to focus on, what their priorities are, where they add value in an increasingly noisy world. All kinds of organizations, whether they're profit makers or non-profit makers, they add value. All right? And good complexity that's the thing that helps them add value. If you're in a competitive market, you've got a technology or a brand or great people, the complex processes by which you keep evolving those competitive advantages, that's complexity. Complexity is something that other competitors can't copy. However, as companies grow and they add more products and services and get into more markets, there's bad complexity. There's complexity that comes in that doesn't add value. It distracts people from adding value. It distracts them from their priorities, and it stops them doing what they know they should be doing to add value to clients and customers. So the big challenge for individual decision makers, managers, is to differentiate between the bad and the good. Keep the good, build on the good, get rid of the stuff that's complex but just doesn't add value. So we discovered a tipping point when we looked at the largest 200 firms in the whole world, and we looked at how as they grow, they add divisions, new products, new services, they break into new markets, and they grow in complexity, and that complexity adds value up to a certain point. The tipping point is the point at which organizations add more stuff. They add another division, another product or a service, they break into a new market, and actually it destroys value. It doesn't add to their bottom line. It doesn't improve their performance. In fact, they find themselves, their costs go up. They waste more time and more money despite the fact they've grown. So what they need to do if they're going to grow big and stay high performers is differentiate the bad stuff from the good stuff. Build up the good complexity, the stuff that underpins competitive advantage, and get rid of, sideline the stuff that just gets in the way of their priorities.